Which way? Over there? I like these paths they got going. All the paths. Gross. Nothing grosser than like a Band-Aid or a hairband.
I know.
Yeah, actually, yeah. That's kind of a big deal, I would say.
Yeah, that's why I was like, that one doesn't have a fan. It's not even open all the way.
I have never seen a fan that looks like that before.
Yeah.
I like your notebook.
Thank you.
So I'm actually paying $10 today to get a I'm pretty sure to get exactly this that I already have now because I had requested it,
Yeah.
but I didn't get it ready till today, so I now have to pay for it. So
Okay.
whatever.
That sucks.
Everything about this sucks.
It
This
does.
none of it makes any sense. It's all
I'll look at it.
it's a suck fest. There's so much wrong in here.
Is there?
Like a ton of stuff is inaccurate. Stuff that was like, I don't know, like the yes or no questions that they had in here. A bunch of them are marked yes when they should be marked. Like no one in my house was a drinker, did drugs, sexually abused me. Those are all no's. I don't know why they're circled. Like all those. I was like, what the fuck?
When I was looking it over, I was like, damn.
Right? I was like, the
I was-
first
I
drink.
was
This was
feeling
his
bad,
first drink
like,
of alcohol at 5 years old. I was like, I'm
We're
sorry.
getting lit.
What?
Turn up.
I was like,
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I was like, do we have, maybe it's the Dragon Speak? I don't know, what the fuck?
So
I haven't used Dragon Speak in quite a few years, but I don't,
I brought you one.
oh good.
So basically what we're going to be going over is your case plan. Good morning. Is your case plan.
Oh my god, tell me I left all my pens at home because I was taking notes last night.
I have a pen if you need.
Thank you. I wasn't sure if I was going to need to write stuff down.
We'll just share it.
Sharing is can I have some sanitizer for us? So there we go.
Okay. So this is the easiest case plan I've ever made in my life. I just want to let you know that.
Okay.
I tried to combine stuff and like you'll see when we get started. Okay, so
Okay.
page 1 we have Boyle OHFSA just means out of home family service agreement, which is basically the case plan. That's what that means. My contact information, who my supervisor is, all that stuff you can,
Yeah.
it's self-explanatory. Okay, so where it says factor, you'll see 3 factors, and that'll be what Esmeralda put as the factors for
Yeah.
why he was removed, right?
Mhm.
So then I take those factors and I make the case plan out of the factors that she listed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the first factor she listed was emotional/mental health. Then it'll be the behavior of concern. Then the desired outcome and all the activities, which it's only 3, and I think and these are things that you're already doing. You know what I mean? So it won't be, it's not like anything wild. She put parenting skills for whatever reason.
Because she's a horrible person with terrible judgments.
So, behavior of concern, improve decision making, whatever, demonstrate. So the activities are below. And you already know about the child support. They make everybody pay child support, which I don't understand because he's living in your home.
Well, he's living in my home and they know that I'm unemployed. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So I'll call child support and see what exactly we can do with that, but it has to be in everybody's case plan for whatever reason.
I mean, I have nothing to give them, and he's obviously. I told him, I was like, you can't get blood from a stone. I'm like, you're wasting all of our
Feed
resources.
it until you get the
And she
blood
literally,
out,
she goes, well, I'll talk to my supervisor. And she calls me back. She's like, we gotta do it. And I was like, well, then you do you, and I'm gonna do me, because that is crazy
It's
talk.
wild. It's really wild.
The whole thing is wild.
It's really wild.
The thing, the lawyer's like, she's like, we're in a position where we're trying to amend the petition, but if we amend the petition, there is no petition. So we literally just have to go to court and say the entire petition is bullshit. And I'm like, this is insane. Apparently she talked to Beverly, and Beverly was like, under no circumstances would the department ever withdraw a petition, even if it was obtained through perjury and for no. And I'm like,
I guess
at what point are you guys gonna be concerned with Robin's welfare?
My bad. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Go say my bad. We won't send that bitch to your home ever again.
Government agencies will never say.
They never say my bad.
No,
it's
don't.
crazy.
That's never gonna happen.
I'm like, how much evidence do we need? And it's like, apparently no amount of evidence is enough for them to say our bad. We fucked up.
Yeah. So my thing is, I understand. I fully understand the whole situation.
I know that
but
you
this is my job that I have to do.
If I don't laugh about this, I'm gonna flip out, because I am like, to have Esmeralda Wyatt recommend that I have decision making
I was
skills
meeting with other
improved.
social workers, like, because I didn't feel like this should have been a goal, but I have to address what she says I need to address. So I said, like, community resource utilization.
What does that even mean?
It said that you refuse to use resources that were around you. So I literally just put, you'll see what I put, and it's the same thing as mental health resources. So I just kind of combined the goals and made them the same activities.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I'm like,
I didn't know what else to do. I've never been
honestly,
in
if
this
they wanted to,
situation
they should have me teach a parenting class. Do you know how many people in the interim between when this case has transpired and this moment have contacted me for parenting advice?
Let me tell you something. This is where we're at with it. We have to have this meeting, and at least we can say, if you do decide to sign
I'm sorry,
it,
I have to laugh.
she entered into the case plan, and we're doing what we need to be doing until all of this is resolved. You know what I mean? She's cooperating with me. She's done everything I asked her to do as of now. So that's just, I mean, you know.
Yeah. I know. Look, the system is the system. But it's just, I'm used to being so incongruous with the system that it doesn't make any sense. But this is above and beyond. This is really. My parents' rights, have they been terminated?
No, of course not.
I don't. Well, because they're like, what her words to me were, he's mine now. He's ours. So, yeah, it's pretty fucking terrifying.
No, your rights have not been terminated. We're nowhere even close to that ever happening.
Did you notice, by the way, when you went over the records, that I mentioned her by name back then as my antagonist, as someone who was causing us issues? Because I didn't notice that right away. I had to read it over twice before I was like, damn, I named that bitch when I went to therapy.
So, yes. Oh, Jesus Christ. Are the court orders of court incorporated into the objectives? There aren't any court orders, so I'm not even gonna.
That also was in the record. It said I was mandated. I was never mandated.
You haven't been mandated to do anything.
They didn't even give me a case plan. I made up my own case plan because they never got to me.
This is your case plan now.
I meant last time when I called them and asked for help, they never gave me one, so I made up my own. And then so I was like, mandated? Y'all didn't even give me a phone number. Shut up.
I forgot how to spell my name. That's how ridiculous it is. I feel like I was having a shit.
My mom is so nervous right now.
I hate that.
She is bugging. We pulled up and she yelled, nobody has any COVID symptoms. I go, Mom, you gotta chill.
Take it down a notch, sister.
So I sure I go, this is the door you're gonna go into, everything else. Lady calls, she goes, what door do I go to? I was like, the lady was like, I'm sorry, you're going to public health? I was like, Mom, chill, you gotta chill.
Like, no, I can't handle this.
Because it's fucking scary, dude. That's what I'm saying. If I don't laugh, I would fall apart. Like, luckily I'm a comedian. Because, holy shit, this is crazy.
So, I just gave you this copy. I'll need you to sign this one for me so that I can put it into the system and let them know that you entered into your case plan.
So wait, so just so we're clear, because like I said, this is how I explain it to my therapist. I keep feeling like I'm at the AT&T store and they treat me like I work there, and I'm like, I don't work here, bro.
Okay.
So entering into a case plan is not saying that I'm negligent.
No.
This is simply
it's
saying that I'm
just
cooperating with you
cooperating
while
with
we're
you.
dealing with the court. Okay.
Absolutely. If they drop it, then this isn't gonna mean shit anyway. You
Well,
get what I'm
like I
saying?
said, Beverly has point blank told my lawyer that they would drop it under no circumstances,
Right.
regardless. So I'm like, all right, ethics are out the window at
Right.
this point. I'm literally just praying we get a judge that gives a damn and wants to listen.
The thing about it is, most of this you're doing anyways. I'm not
That's
going to
what I'm
recommend you to
saying.
go to any more than what you've been doing now. You know what I mean? So it just, I mean, it's going to be what it's going to be. Like, you'll demonstrate your ability to be a good decision maker is when I come to your house and I see how you interact with Robin, and that I deem is acceptable or appropriate or whatever your interaction, and that's that. You know what I mean? And so that's like all of the parenting. I'm not going to ask you to go to any parenting classes because I don't feel like you need to.
We don't need to.
And
you know what's especially interesting is that, I called them for help back in December, as you're aware. And at that time, they were like, never call us again. Call everybody you ever know before you call us. And so I call someone else after everyone else supposed to.
And they call us.
And they don't even show up until he's back home and everything's fine again. I'm like, if he needed to be removed, yet you waited 72 hours to check on him, like,
Yeah, it wasn't an
nothing makes
immediate.
sense.
Which killed me because it wasn't an
He's
immediate.
under 6. It would have been an automatic immediate. Somebody had to file paperwork saying he wasn't in danger with me. I'm like, why are you guys fucking with me?
This is where we are with it.
So yeah, I mean, obviously I'm just so freaking grateful that we have you, because if we had gotten some horrible foster care worker, we'd be living in terror. It'd be horrible. So I'm signing here, this line?
Yes. Also, they want me, this is between you and I, and hopefully it won't ever
Come to it?
Yeah. Well, come to it being brought up in court, because what they want me to do, what they've asked me to do, is pop up at your house unannounced every other week. I think that that's rude.
Look, I agree that it's rude, but the fact of the matter is, ain't nothing going down in my house. You know what I mean?
Pop-up, so, I'm going to continue to text you the day of and see if you're going to be home, and that can just be kept between you and I.
That's
and
totally
I'm going
fine.
to tell them that I did what I was asked to do.
I will say this though, Kaitlin, of all your clients, because it's you and because nothing is going down, you can pop up. It's not going to fuck up our situation.
Because I just
The
feel,
dog
because
and
I don't
baby
want
will
you to
be
feel like
happy
I'm
to
trying
have
to
company.
catch you doing something.
Well, I
because I'm
appreciate.
not.
Well, just so you know, there is nothing to catch. You can come by any old time. You'll probably find him naked. If we don't have company coming, he's probably naked because of the potty training and it's summertime. He's doing all right with that again. We still can't get him to sit in pool. We had to start completely over.
Yeah.
He was, fully back in diapers when he came home again.
Mm-hmm.
And he is, having some separation anxiety. But overall, he's a very happy child. You know what I'm so sick and tired of those people going, well, kids are resilient. I'm like, really? Then why are there so many traumatized piece of shit adults walking around?
They are resilient, but I mean, they're not superhuman.
No, they're not. I'm like, this shit sticks. Look, if I'm 40 and I'm over here dealing with shit that went down one time when I was a kid, it's just, I'm like, I'm so tired. Everyone keeps telling me, kids are resilient. Kids are resilient. I'm like, well, adults are broken, so kids can't be that resilient.
Right.
Let's maybe
Yeah,
don't
they
interfere.
can't take with so much.
That's I'm like a kid who has no. Oh, speaking of which, so when he had his checkup, is it like I've had experiences with other children that were abused, and when they had the exam, they had full X-rays and all that stuff.
They're not looking for that. He wasn't abused, and that's not one of the.
I was just wondering if they do it standard because it would be nice to be able to go look, no healed fractures, no problems.
No, that is like a child abuse assessment that they would do in the hospital. They wouldn't do that here. They would send him somewhere.
See, in the past when I was helping another child, I had them brought to the hospital.
They would do a whole abuse assessment, but because he hasn't been abused and those aren't any part of the allegations, they won't look him over like that way that you're talking about. No,
I just was curious because I thought it'd be nice to, because like I said, it's so confusing to be on this side of it and to be in a situation where they removed him from my care but don't seem to have any real complaints about what I'm doing. So I'm looking for everything I can. I've been a guest mommy blogger, I've been a nanny. I did a comedy special where I'm wearing him on stage with his little ear protection. So I'm trying to find anything to see, I am not your enemy here, bro. So I thought it'd be nice if they did do the full workup. If he had been through that, then we'd have that evidence to at least say that he's
They only do it if there are allegations of abuse.
Okay.
And then it's really extensive too. So.
Oh, is it like invasive?
It is invasive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where they're looking him all over. Yeah,
Okay.
I wouldn't want it if it wasn't necessary.
No. I just thought they already did it.
No. They haven't. So this is what I was talking about, the release, so that if there's information that, like the conversation between Heather and I, to amend what's in there.
Yeah.
And, you know, to talk about your participation.
Did I tuck it in here? Or did I put it back?
Yeah, I think you
Can I give you my copy that I've corrected by hand? Like, did you have concerns? When you saw the paper records from Daymark, did you have concerns? I was only on Zoloft for a couple of months, and it wasn't working out. It was giving me a lot of bad.
That's not a reason for your child to be taken anyways.
Well, no,
lots of us social workers are on Zoloft.
This is what I'm saying. But there was some information that was incorrect. And I know Heather had said she had,
This is just a question mark.
well, because here's the thing, because it says that I deny all this. The fact of the matter is I'm a comedian. Occasionally when I'm entertaining the military or I'm over in Scotland and it's really, really important to somebody that I have a drink, I have a drink. I don't enjoy it. I'll have a shot here and there. Like, it's probably, last time was in November, I went to Dominican Republic for vacation, and one of the days when we were there, I had a blended drink, you know, so it was just slightly inaccurate, and
so then I can speak on.
those should all be no's.
Okay. Do you want me to keep this?
Yeah, I mean, you can. I'm about to go buy another copy.
Okay.
So I figured so that you had the accurate representation.
Okay.
Yeah, that, and the other thing was on the other thing where it said that I had my first use of alcohol at age 5, and I'm thinking, because I don't know if you've ever met Dr. Lay. He's a very fast-talking dude, not into chit-chat, does not enjoy a story. So I'm like, I could see telling him a story about, like, maybe my dad, because my dad did once when I was a little kid, let me have one little sip of his beer at, like, a holiday dinner. But I can't imagine that story coming up just because Dr. Lay fucking hates chit-chat. So I was like, where did he get 5 years old?
Okay, I'll keep this. Ridiculous.
But when you spoke to Heather, how did you feel? Like,
I mean, she said everything that you said, like, as far as, and then when I asked her, when you said that you had stopped services because, I think your words were she became inappropriate, or she said something inappropriate, and so you stopped the session. I mean, she kind of hinted around that, but she said you became upset off something that you were talking
limit
about.
to what she can say, because it was a major breach of ethics, is what it was. And I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, I've had to record us interacting because she obviously can't go on record and say that, because what happened was Daymark was pressuring her to get billable hours because no one was coming in, and so she had admitted to me that she had to get me to that 16-minute mark to bill for the hours. And so even though I told her that we couldn't do it, Robin hadn't gone down from his nap, it wasn't that she was still pushing it. And then what happened was she scolded me because Robin wants my attention. He's going nuts. And I gave him a warning, and then I gave him a final warning. And she was like, see, no boundaries, not enough discipline, that's your problem. And I was like, you know what, I'm not doing this, and I hung up the phone. And so we've talked about it since then, obviously, but she was like, I apologize, you know, they were pushing me to get to the minute, but she's like, but you should have returned my calls. And I was like, not if you were going to be a dick about my parenting when I'm stuck in quarantine.
Right.
I was like, you're my therapist, you should be high-fiving me.
Right.
That was healthy boundaries.
Right.
So she's apologized to me in private. There's a limit to what she can do as far as speaking out. She's told me repeatedly she does not want to be petitioned to go to court, because, I mean, not only that, she's just, apparently the new building they're in has asbestos and black mold, so she doesn't want to have to talk about that. So what her suggestion was, as a compromise, was petition her notes, because it says after each session that I'm not a safety risk, blah, blah, blah. But I was curious what your talk was with her, because I'm like, because I even I asked her, I was like, are you going to give context and explain that you were the one that was inappropriate, not me, that I did the right thing?
She didn't say that she was the one who was inappropriate, but she said words were exchanged and you became upset, so you ended the session.
See, that makes it sound like I lost my temper, though.
That's not how I took it.
Okay, good, because I didn't lose my temper at all.
And that's not what she said either. So
Okay, good.
So I'm not going to say
good.
that she said that.
Because I know Esmeralda was kind of pushing this angle of like that I'm volatile or whatever, and I'm like, no.
That hasn't been my experience. So I mean, I can only speak on my experience. You know what I mean? Whatever other people say, I can't control that. But I haven't had a bad experience. So
I'm trying to determine whether or not I have to force her to give the lawyer's like, she's gonna lie on the stand anyway, and I'm like, God damn it.
I know.
This is such a bull.
I know. But all we can do is document. So
I know.
this will allow me to share the notes that I get from Daymark.
Yes.
So I can get stuff from Daymark, and this will allow me to share what I know. Because I can't just say, oh, Daymark said. I have to have the release so that I can discuss it.
That was a little alarming too, because my lawyer was under the impression that because that's why I was hounding you so hard,
now,
because that's what she told me.
They can use these records in discovery, but I mean, if they're not correct.
They were gonna be using them anyway, because we're gonna be using them, so I'm still, that's why I'm saying, like, I don't know who I'm gonna have to call,
so
who
then
I'm
I
not.
can talk
It's a
to
whole
I
thing.
can talk to Beverly, and I mean, see, that's our attorney, and see what we can do about amending those, because it may be that Daymark has to amend them.
Well, that's the thing. I'm like, do I need to call Tanya?
Who's Tanya?
Tanya's the one who, the long part of the assessment. That's Tanya.
Oh, okay.
And she was who was available, and because I had gone in and asked about DBT therapy, because I really like DBT therapy, they were like, that's Tanya. And Dr. Lay, the appointment wasn't going to be till the next week, and he was going to be in foster care by then. So I had to take what I could get. So she's the one with all the questions that should be marked no, that are marked yes. But I'm also like, because it says childhood, and I'm like, am I reading it wrong? Does childhood mean under 18? Because if it means under 18, then that shit is inaccurate.
Yeah.
Because I'm a rape survivor later in life. And I've had roommates over the years that were a problem, and I moved out or whatever, but I mean, not growing up. I was one of the lucky ones. Am I filling this line out or no?
No, because I don't need anything from anywhere other than Daymark, because that's the only place that we're dealing with.
Okay, so what am I...
So you can like make a line through it if that would make you comfortable.
No, I'm just curious. What am I initialing? All of them?
Yes.
Okay.
That I can get anything from there.
Yeah.
And then I think it's more on the second page.
It's funny because, you know, when I got these initial assessments, I didn't see them until Tuesday, even though they're from the winter. And I was just like, I'm sorry, what now? Who? 5 years old? I was like, use of alcohol? Let's be reasonable. It's Thanksgiving, okay? It was being a pain in the dick, and you gave me a sip. It tasted like feet. End of story. My parents don't even drink. Like not even for fun. Oh, it's initialed other.
Do you need this? You need this?
Do you need us to move?
You sure? We're almost done. Okay.
Have you seen the new building they're using, by the way?
No, I haven't.
Well, besides the black mold and asbestos, it's like a haunted hospital in the parking lot of an armory. So yeah, it's pretty
it's across the street over there by the armory? Over there? Jesus
that weird brick building? Oh, I was like, this place is like, yeah, it's haunted. They're like, well, a lot of people have died here. I was like, cool.
Good. Glad to hear that. Good for us. So you're not in any kind of treatment program, so you don't have to sign there, just client signature.
That's the other part that keeps making everybody raise their eyebrows. They're like, I don't understand. You're not addicted to anything. I'm like, oh,
It's the 23rd.
Thank you. I'm like, I'm just a very good mom that is very cautious and very enthusiastic about treatment. And apparently it's a problem for everybody.
Thank you so much. So this is what I need.
Oh, the other thing that was so important, and I think I texted you this on the records, was because it says 10 plus psychiatric visits to the ER, which I think looks really bad, but it was all to fill the Zoloft prescription because I didn't have a prescriber, and they were making me come in for 7 pills at a time. So for 5 months I had to go to the emergency room. I want to say it's on the back of one of the pages. Is it page 2? Where did it go? Oh my God, why is it? Right? I'm like, I fucking name that bitch. It says it, I think.
So had to go.
Yeah.
Client reports
10
the
plus reasons I get. It was to refill the Zoloft.
number of but total in the last year is just one. Like
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It was literally to refill the Zoloft. And I have a letter both from the place I was waiting to do intake at, and obviously I could get those records if I had to from the hospital, but it was just to go in and refill the Zoloft. That was it.
okay.
Because in New York, it's a long wait. There was I literally came out of the hospital and had to wait 5 months before I could see someone.
Okay, I'm gonna put can provide letters.
Yeah. In fact, do I have it with me? It might be next to my bed. But you know what I do have? I have a picture of the letter because I just sent it to my lawyer.
Okay.
That was like blowing away. Let me turn up my brightness for you. That was towards the end of the having to go to the emergency room because that's how long it took to start intake. But once I started intake, they were like, hey, stop hassling her. Because they were threatening to give me one pill at a time. And I was like, you guys, it's 50 milligrams of Zoloft.
Yeah.
I have this whole Instagram post because I was looking through pictures of me and Robin. And it's from a while ago, and it's from Mental Health Day. And I'm just like, how hard do you think people should have to fight?
For their medicine.
Like,
Or for
to be treated like I'm going in pill seeking when I'm getting 50 milligrams of Zoloft. I'm like,
Zoloft. It's not Xanax.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it provides there's no
not
resale
opioid.
value. There's
I'm
no
not
street
high.
value.
Nobody's
There's
buying
no
Zoloft
high.
on the
Like,
corner.
you can't snort it. Like, what
Right.
the fuck? 50 milligrams. It's the Tylenol of psych meds, bro. Ah. But no, they're like, you keep doing this, and we're gonna give you one pill at a time. I'm like, doing this? Showing up to get my meds? Oh
keep it
God!
up.
They're like,
You
I guess
keep
we
it
can
up.
put you in the express lane. I'm like, well, thank you, because I've been here for 3 effing hours to get my freaking Zoloft.
God.
Don't you have a primary care physician? I'm on the waiting list. You saw me a week ago. Ah. So what happens next with us?
So next, all right, and let me.
I know I
show
have
you
a
the
thing
email.
with them. I have the pre-adjudication with them.
When is the PAC?
It's the 28th. So like next
So
Tuesday?
Tuesday,
Yeah.
So Tuesday we have the PAC. I'll be on the phone. If they ask me to speak on anything, it'll be on visitations or home visits.
Now, so have you, in your experience, have they ever withdrawn a petition?
Not that I know of.
So you think that what Beverly said is like what they're going to go with? They're going to try to push it as far as they can and hope that the judge.
I can see that happening. But our quickest, our best option is custody going to your mom, and I can see that happening as fast as adjudication.
Okay, but here's the thing. Because actually Heather had asked me about this yesterday. She had said, she was like, look, originally you were just wanting to give custody to your mom. What changed? And I was like, what changed was we got more information.
Yeah.
When we didn't get a chance to talk to the lawyer until we were at court. And it's not like I didn't call. I called the moment I had her contact, but she's busy. So we didn't get to talk to her until we were at court. And we explained to her that like the goal was to get him out of Esmeralda's jurisdiction, basically. And the way she explained it to us, it sounded like we were going to go in there, I was going to give custody to her, she'd be able to take him back to New York, and I'd fight the case without him being in danger.
Yeah.
But then we found out that that's not the case at all.
Right.
That if I gave her custody, that A, it would be a long process, and B, it would mean it would be indefinite before I could get custody back. There'd be a chance that I would have to actually move back into my parents' house in New York in order to be able to fight it. And it would take God knows how long because New York is shut down.
Who told you that? Beverly?
No, Beverly hasn't really shared anything with me. It's just that when our initial meeting with the lawyer, she was like, it would be quick and easy and whatever. And then when we followed up, she was like, oh, no. You know, you'd have to go to New York and petition for custody back. You'd have to go. Basically, I'd have to go through all this again, but in another jurisdiction.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I ain't moving back to New York, especially now.
Yeah.
This is not a good time to be in New York.
So here's my thing. When I get a foster care case, there's a primary plan and there's a secondary plan. So the primary plan right now I have down is reunification, which is him going back into your custody. Secondary plan is him going to the custody of Sharon.
Right.
Right? Okay. My thing is, I don't know which one's going to be easier. I don't know which one's going to be faster.
Well, I really
point.
don't think giving him to my mom is going to be a good solution because, like I said, when we thought of that as a plan, it was because we thought it would be very fast and that it meant that I would be able to fight this without worrying about retribution towards him, because he'd be out of the jurisdiction.
Right.
And then when it was solved, it would be solved. But then we found out that it's not the case.
Yeah, no, because while this whole thing is going on, if we have custody, then he has to stay where we know he is.
I realize that. But if she has custody, then I have to fight it here and then go up there and do it all over again while living with my parents in a place where everything is shut down. They're not having court. And the unrest and the evictions and unemployment are about to skyrocket. I don't want him in New York. Honestly, when I was like, hey, bring him to New York, that's fine. That was in early July. Things have changed at this point, and things are about to get worse there. I don't feel comfortable at this point, her driving through lower Manhattan with my baby.
Yeah.
Not happening. So things have changed. At that point, we thought it was going to be over the next week, and that she was going to be gone, he was going to be safe, and everything was going to be fine. I could fight it, and we go back to normal.
Your main concern is the pandemic in New York and what that looks like, and you don't really want
I don't want him there, and I don't want to have to attempt to use the courts there because they're not even available.
Okay.
You know, COVID is not under control. They're not open. There's a lot of rioting. You know, and to get to Long Island, you have to drive through Manhattan.
I just want to share this with Beverly so that we can make a plan of action.
Yeah. But it's not like I'm like, I just changed my mind. I mean, things have changed and I got more information, you know, and I don't want to spend the next few years battling to get custody of my kid back so we can live our freaking lives when we didn't do anything wrong in the first place. And the last thing we need, mental health wise, is to move back in with my parents.
So the courts are not available?
No, I mean we had so much trouble just getting the verification for the hearing to get my mom designated for the TSP, trying to get her licensing information. Mm-hmm. It was horrible because nobody's even in the office. And their caseload is just like here, gotten much higher. You know, there's tension everywhere. The world is in a bad place and it's about to get worse. There's no second stimulus. It's about to get brick. Really, Fire Ant? Really? Not today. And you know, the thing is it never was the long-term plan to just her have custody. That wasn't the thing. It wasn't, oh, let me give my son to my mom. Yeah. It was, if she has custody, then he'll be safe.
Yeah, I got that. I got that from the beginning.
Yeah, it was never like a matter of, oh, I'm just going to give him away. Fuck this nonsense.
I wasn't, that wasn't
my thing. I meant for Beverly's name. Because it's just, like I said, it's very frustrating because I'm like, it seems like her interest is protecting the face of the department. And Robin doesn't even get a legal representation, and he's the one that's supposed to be being protected and all this?
He has a GAL.
Who's that?
She contacted me. Her name is Kelly Patterson. She contacted me last night at 10 o'clock. She said, good evening, I'm Robin's GAL. I have a few questions about Robin's contact with his mom. I can call the mother to talk with her. I plan to contact his grandmother tomorrow, whom I understand is currently caring for him. Would you mind answering these questions? She was asking if y'all had visitation, and I'm like,
he's home.
I said, I was texting her like, I don't know where you got your information from. Obviously, you don't have any, so let me give you the rundown. So I told her,
10 p.m. That's fine.
Well, I texted her this morning because,
because let's be reasonable.
I was asleep. I was like, Robin he's in the home with mom and grandmother. The court has approved mom to live there as long as all interaction between she and Robin is supervised by Sharon. I told her about the CFT we have because she asked me everybody wants to know, have you entered a case plan? So now that I can say you have, I don't know why the fuck that matters so much, but okay.
Well, you know why it matters? Because if you take my kid and you have no suggestions to make, no criticisms of me, then you have to kind of say, look, we shouldn't have taken your kid.
Yeah.
And so the pressure has been for the last, because it's been like 5 weeks. It's like, look, if there's nothing wrong with us, then fuck off, you know?
Yeah.
And like I said, we like you. So I'm like, it's cool that you hang out. And like, I wouldn't even care if you pop by. I'd probably be, everyone would be excited to see you. But, you know, Beverly needs to get it through her head that Esmeralda should not be trusted. She perjured herself to get a petition. She's probably done it before. She'll probably do it again. And the thing is and I said this to Heather, I was like, if they're so fucking fixated on flexing authority, flex authority on the social worker that's committing fucking federal crimes.
Yeah.
Flex on her. Get the lawyer on her case. Fucking make a show of her. Make an example of her. She's the one hurting kids.
Yeah.
I went through the handbook with a fine-tooth comb, which was horrendous, by the way. Oh my God.
You're the only one.
I can tell. I can tell. Here's the thing. I fit exactly 0 criteria on any decision tree, policy, anything for removing him or even escalating the case. Esmeralda, on the other hand, fits 4 out of 7 for domestic abuse. The foster care moms fit quite a few for endangerment, for the car seat bullshit. So it's like, you know, I don't even know how it could be more obvious that he's way safer and at a much higher standard of care at home with me. And it's just, so yeah, so I don't know. I feel like I told my mom last night, I was like, I'm worried, Ma. She was like, why? I'm like, because I really like Kaitlin, but she works for them.
Yeah.
I'm like, so if we go to court, I'm like, and I'm railing against it. Like, I hope she understands. Like, I very much appreciate the way you've dealt with us, that you've been honest. I also understand that, you know, you work here. There's a limit to how much you can be like, hey, you guys, what the fuck?
Yeah. I can't say what the fuck, but I can say I can be completely honest and transparent with you and with what I'll say and with what, you know, what I can say when I'm asked. When I'm asked on the interaction, you know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it's healthy because that's really how I feel.
Yeah.
If they ask me about what I talked about with Heather, I'm going to tell you what I just told you because that's the truth. Like, I'm going to tell the truth on the stand. Like, I'm not...
Yeah, no, I know.
You know what I mean?
I just wish that it was, like, appropriate. I wish I was in a position to be like, look, if you want to be the whistleblower, I got your back. But I'm not, you know? I don't have any fucking resources. I don't have anything. But I wish I could be like, look, let's stand up to them. Let's tell them no more. No more of this. You can't do this to people anymore. And it just bothers me. They have fucking possession of my fucking kid. It's ridiculous. You know, and I feel like too, like the idea from their standpoint is like, well, just agree with us and jump through our hoops and everything will be fine. And I'm like, but no, it won't, because it'll be a black mark forever. And no matter where we go and what we do, I'm already at a step down because the department gets the credibility right out of the gate. I'm at a second step down because I'm open about my mental health and going to treatment. I can't have a third step down by acquiescing to something that's not true and saying I'm negligent when I'm not, because then we'll never be safe. So it just fucking sucks. It's a fucking suckfest.
I agree with you. You know.
Oh, it's making my shoulders hurt. I gotta go eat my feelings. I've gained so much weight since my mom's been here because she just keeps buying so much food and I'm just eating my feelings. I'm like, oh Lord, I'm gonna get out to Vegas and Faison's gonna be like, what in the fuck happened to you?
My quarantine body.
This is my I know, I've been telling everyone for weeks, I'm like, y'all need to get used to my natural figure. Bras are not coming back.
This is what it is. Oh God. If I could never wear a bra again, I would love that, but unfortunately.
Well, you know, I gotta have something just to at least hold the ladies down for comfort, for my comfort.
Yeah.
You know, forget everyone else's comfort. I'm gonna need that. So this isn't asking me to do anything additional. This is just...
No, not really. Not unless they order you to do something, which, like I said, I'm not gonna...
Well, like I said, I have a feeling that that's what they want. They want to be able to be like, see, you needed a parenting class. And I'm like, I will fight it tooth and nail.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I mean, and it says suggested by the department. I'm your person in the department that would do the suggesting.
Yeah.
And if I don't suggest it, then it is what it is. You know what I mean? If I feel that the interaction is appropriate, then what do you need parenting classes for? That's my thing.
I'm like, come to me if you need a teacher, you need to fill in. Yeah. I just honestly, I think when it boils down to it is I am not submissive enough for Esmeralda's taste. And so, she didn't get me the first time. She had a second opportunity. She wasn't going to let it slip through her fingers. And to me, that makes her the enemy of every family in Rockingham County. And I hope that this judge sees it. And I hope that somehow, some way she gets held accountable. Because not for nothing, perjury is an extremely serious crime. And perjuring yourself in the course of removing a child, that's got to be kidnapping. At least endangerment. And you don't get qualified immunity if you perjure yourself. And she perjured herself. So I'm hoping that whatever judge we pull sees it and is like, I am not going to be a party to this. Because holy shit.
I don't know. Let me look up and see what judge we'll have.
The lawyer mentioned a few judges because he said they're on rotation.
They are. So it's Freeman and Brandon.
I think it's Brandon because I think she said it's not Freeman and she was glad it wasn't Freeman.
That's what your lawyer said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has there been any word from the dad, by the way?
No.
Because I know there hasn't been a motion to withdraw by his attorney, but I haven't heard from him at all, so I don't know if he's died of COVID
I try to
or what.
contact him once weekly,
And nothing?
and he doesn't say anything to me.
Yeah, I don't know, because he told me he was going to self-quarantine, and then he just disappeared.
And I sent a letter to that 1407. I mean, because that's all I can do. If you're not texting, you're not texting back, you're not calling back, then I start sending letters out to your house just to see, okay, maybe your number changed or maybe your phone's off or something. So I start sending letters out to your house. That's all I can do. If you don't want to be a part of it, I can't make you. Yeah.
But he's not like in trouble, right?
No, he's not in trouble. I mean, it's just he doesn't have custody either, and he can't. If he doesn't want to be a part of the fight, then you don't have a dog in the fight. Like that's just the thing. Then you don't have custody either.
Yeah.
So when you get him back, whatever you want to do is your business. If you want him to see him or whatever, but I mean,
for me, I feel like that's sort of like I needed the sort of like that line in the sand. It's like if you can't show up for this, what the fuck do we ever need you for?
It's wild.
We had him on purpose, you know that, right? We did fertility treatments.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this baby was no accident. I had 9 miscarriages. We worked hard to have this baby, but once his dad's mom died, he just never came back.
Weird, yeah.
He never came back. When we came for the morning after, they took him, and I went and I drove around and I found his ass, and we came here, and he sat in that meeting and he put himself between me and Esmeralda, and he was all puffed up, and he was like, we're going to do this, and then we stood in the parking lot, and I thought it was like it snapped him out of it, but no, that's not the case. So
That sucks.
it does suck, because for a minute there I really, really thought, okay, we're going to, this is it. He's over it. Because I know it takes a long time to process, especially in my personal experience with black men and their moms. There's a special bond, and they're not prepared to lose her. And when they lose her, they have no... And my little brother, this is going to happen to him. I actually said to my mom, you're his anchor in this world. If you don't teach him who he is, or let him learn who he is relative to the world as opposed to relative to you, when you leave, he's going to be lost. She won't listen to me. But yeah, I thought he was coming out of it, but not so much, I guess. Unless he really did get COVID real bad and he's in the hospital or dead or something, but God, I hope that's not the case.
I hope that's not the case.
I
hope that's not the case. That would suck.
That is the most brolic water bottle I have ever seen, by the way. I'm super impressed.
Thank you. It needs a straw.
It does.
It needs a damn straw.
You know what? I have a really long plastic reusable straw at home that was from a huge cup, and I broke the cup. I'll bring you the huge straw.
What I'm going to do is get another cup. But the cup
that is a
I've
tankard.
seen, it's only 64 ounces, but the cup that I've seen that I want, it has a full gallon in it, but it's not insulated, so it doesn't keep it cold, but it has like a good thick straw. I don't know, man.
You just need a straw for that.
So I'm going home because yesterday I worked 5 hours overtime.
Holy shit.
So today I get to go home.
I'm going to go loiter in the parking lot, wait for my kid to be done at public health.
All right.
And I'd already declared yesterday that I was not cooking lunch today.
All right.
I've been cooking. Now there's another adult around and I can focus. I've been like, oh my God, last night I grilled with some steaks and all these vegetables and a nice salad. I'm a good cook.
All right, well.
So I guess I'll see you on the 28th then, or do we have a visit before then on Monday?
Yeah. I'll do it unannounced on Monday.
We are not morning people, keep that in mind.
All right,
This was a stretch for us.
That's fine.
So we'll be there, but we might be a little puffy. Thank you. Ooh, it smells good over here. Why does it smell so good? No, thank you. We are ready when you are. So I signed the case plan that just says that I'm cooperating and that they're not recommending I do anything differently than what I'm already doing.